Director Wray. Last year, you might recall, sir, our exchange regarding the FBI's involvement on January 6th and prior. I'm happy to jog your memory to quote, according to the record, I asked you, did you have confidential human sources dressed as Trump supporters positioned inside the Capitol on January 6th prior to the doors being opened? You responded, I quote, again, I have to be very careful of what I say. To which I said, it should be a no. Can you not tell the American people no? We did not have confidential human sources dressed as Trump supporters positioned inside the Capitol on January 6th. A year has passed.
Hey Patriots, welcome back to the channel. If you love America, believe in our Constitution, and are tired of the lies and cover-ups coming out of Washington, you're in the right place. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. You won't want to miss what we're talking about today. Today, I want to react to a hearing that frankly should be all over every news channel in America. But let's be real, most of the mainstream media is ignoring it or trying to spin it. We're talking about Congressman Clay Higgins questioning FBI Director Christopher Wray about what really happened on January 6th. Not the narrative they want you to believe, but the facts, the evidence, and the unanswered questions. Let's get into it.
We sit here again a year later, we the people still do not have a definitive answer from you or anyone else in the Biden administration regarding the FBI presence and participation in the months leading up to the November election and in the weeks and days prior to January 6th and on January 6th here in D.C. We can't get a straight answer, although we have a tremendous amount of evidence harvested and reviewed over the course of the last year, which you will see. In September, Stephen D'Artano, formerly in charge of the FBI's field office in Washington, D.C., testified to the House Judiciary Committee that he was aware the FBI informants would attend the Stop the Steal rally thrown on January 6th. You confirmed that the FBI had confidential human sources at the Stop the Steal rally on January 6th here in D.C., sir?
Congressman, as we've discussed before, I'm not going to get into where we have or have not used confidential human sources. But what I can tell you, you asked for a definitive answer.
We'll move on. It's my time. You said no, you're not going to answer. That's cool. We're watching.
Mr. Chairman, may I answer the question?
Your moment will come. This is my time. Earlier this year, an FBI informant who is reported to have, quote, his quote, under oath, marched to the U.S. Capitol with fellow Proud Boys members on January 6th, close quote. He said he was communicating with his FBI handler while people were entering the U.S. Capitol. Can you confirm that the FBI had that sort of engagement with your own agents embedded into the crowd on January 6th?
If you are asking whether the violence at the Capitol on January 6th was part of some operation orchestrated by FBI sources and or agents, the answer is emphatically
You're saying
not.
no?
No.
You're saying no?
Not
okay.
Violence orchestrated by FBI sources or agents.
Are you familiar with you know what a ghost vehicle is? Director of the FBI certainly should. You know what a ghost bus is?
A ghost bus?
Ghost bus.
I'm not sure I've used that term before.
Okay. Well, it's pretty common in law enforcement. It's a vehicle that's used for secret purposes. It's painted over. These two buses in the middle here, they were the first to arrive at Union Station on January 6th, 0500. I have all this evidence. I'm showing you a tip of this iceberg.
Mr. Chairman.
These two buses are painted completely white.
Point of order.
Point of order. Sure.
Just run over the time.
I understand, but you'll recall that Ms. Jackson-Lee's been allowed to go 2 minutes before. I've been very fair in letting people finish their questioning throughout my tenure as chairman, and I'll continue to be fair on that regard. But I will make a note to the members, if you could stay as close within your time as possible. We have a lot of people that want to ask these gentlemen questions. So with that, the gentleman yields. But your point, I've been very fair in this, Mr. Ivey, with everybody on this side of the aisle just as much.
I don't think
on
I
the other.
accuse you of being unfair, Mr. Chairman. I just
You're
raised
making a
of
point.
order.
Okay, thank you. I now recognize Mr.
May I
Wray.
close this statement, Mr. Chairman?
No, I think your time is expired, Mr.
I note that other members across the aisle have been granted time, and I object to my question being closed. This is a very significant hearing, Mr. Chairman, and these buses are nefarious in nature and were filled with FBI informants dressed as Trump supporters and deployed onto our Capitol on January 6th. Your day is coming, Mr. Wray.
Mr. Higgins.
All right, so here's what you just saw. Congressman Higgins, a man with a backbone, straight up asked Director Wray if the FBI had informants dressed as Trump supporters inside the Capitol before the doors were even open. A simple yes or no question. But Wray dodges. He says, I have to be very careful what I say. Excuse me? This is a question of national importance. The American people deserve the truth. I mean, if the answer was no, you just say no, right? Why the runaround? Higgins presses him. He says, can you not tell the American people no? We did not have confidential human sources dressed as Trump supporters positioned inside the Capitol. Still no answer. And here we are a year later, still no straight answer from Wray or anyone in the Biden administration. Let me be clear. If there was no FBI involvement, they'd say so. The only reason to dodge is if there's something to hide. That's common sense, folks. Now Higgins drops another bombshell. He mentions Stephen D'Antuono, the former head of the FBI's D.C. field office, testifying under oath that the FBI knew informants would attend the Stop the Steal rally. This isn't conspiracy theory. This is sworn testimony. And what does Wray do? He stonewalls. He says, I'm not going to get into where we have or have not used confidential human sources. Folks, you're the director of the FBI. You work for the American people, not the other way around. Transparency is not optional. And then Higgins goes further. He references an FBI informant who actually marched with the Proud Boys, was there in the crowd, and was communicating with his FBI handler as people entered the Capitol. Let that sink in. This isn't some fringe accusation. This is coming from sworn testimony and FBI records. Then we get to the part that, honestly, should be the headline everywhere, the so-called ghost buses. Higgins describes ghost vehicles as a term commonly used in law enforcement. Vehicles used for secret purposes, painted over, hard to identify. He shows photos of two plain white buses arriving at Union Station at 5 a.m. on January 6th. He claims these buses were nefarious in nature, filled with FBI informants dressed as Trump supporters deployed to the Capitol. And what does Wray say? Nothing. He claims he's not familiar with the term ghost bus. Give me a break. You're the director of the FBI, and you've never heard that term before? Either you're lying or you're incompetent. Either way, the American people deserve better. Let's talk about what this means. If what Higgins says is true, and he has evidence to back it up, then the narrative we've been fed about January 6th is not just incomplete, it's deliberately misleading. Think about it. FBI informants, possibly dressed as Trump supporters, possibly even agitating or encouraging people to go into the Capitol. Why would they do that? To justify the crackdown on patriots, to criminalize dissent, to silence anyone who questions the regime. That's what authoritarian governments do. That's not America. And look at how they treat Higgins. He goes over time by a minute, and suddenly the chairman is all about following the rules. But when Democrats want more time, they get it. When Republicans raise real questions, they get shut down. That tells you everything you need to know about who's scared of the truth coming out. This is not just about January 6th. This is about the weaponization of our government against the people it's supposed to serve. If they can do this to Trump supporters, to anyone who loves this country and questions the official line, they can do it to anyone. So what do? We demand transparency. We demand hearings, subpoenas, and truth. We support patriots like Clay Higgins who are willing to stand up and ask the tough questions. And we don't back down. The future of this republic depends on we the people refusing to be silenced. I want to hear what you think. Do you believe the FBI had informants in the crowd that day? Do you trust Christopher Wray and the Biden administration to tell the truth? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Share this video with your friends and family. Get the word out. And remember, freedom isn't free. It's up to us to fight for it every single day. Until next time, stay strong, stay free, and God bless America.